Okay, guys, you can start.
Hi, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, clerk will now read. Clerk will now read the agenda and present it online.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Darana Singh, and I'm the clerk. So this will be topic 1. These are the moderators for topic 1. We have the speaker, Alex Culture, deputy speaker, Anika George, the clerk, Darana Singh, the note takers, Eden Espinosa and Alyssa Ramlal, timekeepers, Aliana Isaac and Liana Mirage. For topic 1, leaders are born, not made. These are the group members. And this will be the agenda. We want to start. So we start with the first main speech.
The speaker would like to advise everyone that there is a raised hand. I will demonstrate it now. This indicates that the speaker has raised his hand or her hand, and that the members need to recognize that the speaker has raised his or her hand. Are we clear?
Clear.
Understood.
Clear.
Yes.
The clerk will continue. The clerk will continue.
Okay, group 1 can begin their first main speech.
Hi, good evening, everyone of the debate. Mr. Speaker. I am Princess Aurora, team member of Team Disney, and we are here in the affirmative of the discussion Leaders Are Born, Not Made. I have here with me my colleagues Mulan, Ariel, and Stitch. And I would first like to say simply, a true leader possesses a natural inborn energy. Their proficiency to lead with good character and effective influence stems from the unique wiring of their brain that differs from those who aren't able to successfully lead a group of people, which strengthens our approach that leaders are in fact born and absolutely not made. By what means can they be made? By what means can a leader be constructed? This isn't build a bear. You can build, you can build, you can teach, and you can teach, but only naturally born leaders can arise when needed. Mr. Speaker.
The chair recognizes Princess Aurora. You may proceed.
Yes,
You should not waste your time addressing the speaker. Rather, you should address the debaters. You have 4 minutes left. Is the member Princess or Aura still
Hi, yes,
there?
Chair, but I
You
actually
may proceed.
yes, but I actually have a question, if that's possible.
You noted that the member Princess Aura has a question. Proceed.
Yes, the question is that um, I will be given the intro, and I wasn't clear on whether the introductory speech was to make up the 5 minutes.
Remember, Princess Aura, you have 5 minutes to make your introductory speech. And the other presenters also have a lot of time, and you're given a speech. So please proceed. But you have, according to my timekeeper, 3 more minutes left to proceed with your speech.
Oh, okay. I would just like to continue of the point where my stance is that I don't think a leader can be made or constructed. I was actually reading something that said if a leader cannot be made or cannot be constructed, what is the point of business classes and what is the point of management classes and courses and persons going to receive education and persons going to college and stuff? What is the point of those things? A leader is born with the capacity to build on what they were sent into this world with, and whereas what I believe is the natural born ability to lead. I think that the purpose of those courses and the purpose of those classes and the purpose of those education and management is for that said person, a leader that is born, to build on what they were given and to become a true master or further master at being the natural born leader that they are. So I think that what I read, person stands on those courses being able to shape a leader or make a leader. I believe that it is false claims, and a leader could use those things to further what they were gifted. That will be the end. Hi, Chair.
Is that the end of your presentation?
Yes, please.
Okay. Who would you like to present from your team?
I would like to present from Team Disney Stitch.
As your member,
Um,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, the floor will now hear a presentation from. You'd like to introduce your member. The Honorable Member Princess Aura like to introduce the next speaker from her team.
Hi, Chair. Hello, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, hi, would
Hi. I just gotten word that Ariel is back and she is prepared to present what was originally her points. I don't know if that would be okay. I'm asking.
if the Honorable Member is available and is prepared to present, the House is prepared to proceed.
Okay, yes. Well, I'd like to present Miss Ariel.
Hi, good night, everyone.
The House recognizes Diana Ali. Please
Yes,
proceed, Miss Ali.
Can I, on a point of order, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, on a point of order, please.
Of course,
All right. I apologize to the House, but I think the first speaker was completed with her presentation, and I believe we moved to an intermission before the following speaker for the team against presents their first main argument before we move on to the secondary speakers. So I think we are out of order here at this point in time. Moving on to Miss Ali. At this point, we should be pausing for the intermission of 1.5 minutes, and then the speaker for the opposite team should be presenting their opening salvo before we move on into the secondary people. At least that's what I'm seeing from your intermission, from your agenda. I beg your direction.
I understand the direction that you're given, but at the same time, there were no interruptions, there were no interjections, there were no questions. So the speaker immediately went to the next speaker, the next presenter, sorry, my bad, the next presenter.
and I was now going to ask about, isn't it that the other team has to do an introduction as well before I speak?
have a brief intermission, and then the other team will have an opportunity to present a counter argument. That intermission will last for 1.5 minutes. Hi, on this culture. Nobody say anything? All right. Parliament is in session. Speaker House is here. I would like to ask the clerk to read the agenda for the next session, please.
Okay, so will the group presenting topic 1 against begin their introduction, please?
Good evening, everyone. I am Buzz Lightyear, representing Team Toy Story, right, to infinity and beyond. Now, everyone, many psychologists and behavioral theorists believe that people can become leaders through the process of teaching as well as learning and observation. Leadership is a set of skills that can be learned by training, perception, practice, and experience over time. On this premise, one must never lose hope if he is not regarded as a leader by his peers. The skills which leadership encompasses include, but are not limited to, the following: one's ability to negotiate, one's ability to persuade others to do things, one's ability to communicate effectively, as well as one's ability to influence others. There is research which suggests that leadership is generally 30% genetic and 70% a result of the life lessons and experience that one would face. Saying that leaders are born and not made simply implies that personality types and their associated intrinsic qualities are the only factors which distinguish a person who others are willing to respect and follow. It should also be noted that this school of thought fails to explain why leadership development and coaching is estimated at being at least 366 billion industry globally, with at least 45% of this figure being spent in the United States alone. My team, Toy Story, absolutely and certainly hold the stance that if leaders were truly born and not made, companies such as Apple and Google would not allocate hefty sums of money to the training and development of their staff. Leaders are indeed direct products of their environment and of the people surrounding and nurturing them, as well as the experience and trials that they face throughout their lives. Thank you, everyone.
Are there any opposing members of the team, or are there any members of your team that would like to make a statement at this time? Are there any members of the opposing team that would like to make a statement at this time? We will have a brief intermission, and again, the chair asks if there are any members of the opposing team that would like to make a statement at this time. Chair would like to invite members of the opposition, if they have any opposing arguments, please present them now and to choose a representative. Chair, like members of the opposing team, if they have any arguments, to make them now. First rebuttal may now present.
Hi, good night. Good night.
Yeah, the chair is disappointed in the late restart. However, the chair would like to recognize Princess Aurora, and we would welcome if they make their first rebuttal statement at this time.
Okay. I will be doing the first rebuttal, Princess Ariel.
Okay, the chair recognizes Princess Ariel.
Okay, and now I will begin.
We will ask firstly, we will ask Princess Ariel to identify the topic that she is on.
I am on the topic that leaders are born and not made.
The chair will ask for a pause.
Pardon? What?
The chair will recognize Princess Ariel and advise her that she has 44 seconds extra time
Okay, thank you.
in addition to her normal rebuttal time.
Okay.
And again, before Princess Ariel begins, we would like to ask the clerk to read and reiterate the topic.
Pardon?
We can recognize this Princess Ariel again. Everyone clear on the topic? We can proceed.
Okay, so I'll begin. A leader is defined as a person who is appointed, elected, or informally chosen to direct and coordinate the work of others within a group. Leadership is a position that requires certain skills and abilities which some can be learned over time. Hence, leader and leadership are two different concepts. Leaders are usually noticed at a young age. These are the kids that you'll see in school that are willing to take leadership positions at church, in the household, as well as even the playground. The inborn skills that they possess are so noticeable and effortless. However, great leaders are born with internal characteristics like empathy, passion, courage, intelligence, charisma, and determination. And these are just a few inbuilt qualities that some people just cannot be taught. Among these is self-confidence. And self-confidence is a trait of many born leaders. This is a trait that cannot be taught, and without it, there isn't any leadership. A leader is someone who is expected to deliberate accurately and make decisions appropriately, for which confidence is very important. Many psychological and neurological, sociological tests have been conducted among many scientists. And these studies have proven that leaders are truly born because of the different personality traits and their different way of thinking that actually make them leaders. I do apologize for the noise in the background. Their positive personality, their creative way of thinking, and their aura is something that is unique and important that is recognizable within them. So born leaders are people with the capacities of all these traits that many people cannot be taught. Simply, some people just cannot be taught how to lead, no matter how many classes they go to, no matter how much notes they take. If they don't have that drive and that desire to want to lead, to want to make a change, I don't think that they'll be a good leader. Born leaders are people that actually want to help to make a change, to make a difference. They carry an instinctive ability to inspire others and to encourage them to follow their vision. So, in conclusion, leadership is taught, but leaders are born, keeping their innate personalities and characteristics that one may possess. Who think like the leader will become like the leader. And that is the end of my point. Thank you.
Okay, now we will have a short intermission.
Okay, so
Now we move on. Oh,
my apologies. I'd like to Leader, team member, proceed. Proceed.
Okay, now we move on to the first rebuttal against leaders are born, not made.
Hi, good evening. I am Bopi speaking for Team Toy Story. Okay, so first I would like to say leaders aren't born because if we take a look at Prince Henry, right? He's a leader that was born. He was born a leader, yes, but what leadership traits does he have? What characteristics of leadership does he have? If I speak about Prince Henry's life, right? He left school after getting a B in art and a D in geography. He decided not to go to university at all. He decided to go to the military academy, right? If it is he was a true born leader, I would think that he would want to go to university in order to pursue things that he wanted to learn, he wanted to inspire his nation about, but he didn't do that. He decided to pursue his own things, his own life. He took his own life over being a leader, I would say. So I would say that he was not, yes, he was born a leader. He is an icon, but if you look at his life, is he a true leader? I will now pass you over to Zug, Mr. Speaker. Is that okay? Mr.
That's
Speaker,
fine if you would like to pass over to Doug, but the time will not be extended beyond.
beyond this,
Good.
that's okay, no problem. We would use the rest of minutes that we have.
Okay. Okay. We would like to recognize Doug, the Honorable Doug.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair and everyone else. So, to add to what my group member had said, I also had a leader who would have developed a lot of leadership characteristics during his prime in his life, which would be Mr. Adolf Hitler. Now, a lot of people will know Adolf Hitler as a very terrible person, but he actually has a lot of great characteristic traits that made him become a true leader and a person a lot of people will look at to say, okay, this is what a leader should be, although he's not. So, to give you a little brief history as to what made transpired in his life to make him be a leader, Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in a small Austrian town in Brno. Now, growing up in his early years, he had developed a liking for wanting to become joining the army. But the problem is he was able to get a medal for his bravery, but he was not able to climb up the ranks. So this is where he actually started his own party in 1920, which would be known as the National Socialist Germany Workers' Party, which we know as now as the Nazi Party. Now, during this time, while he was developing himself, people started looking at his leadership traits, and that would be his charisma, passion, vision. Hitler's charisma was the key to the whole success of his National Socialism, which he was supporting and wanted to pass through the people of Germany. Hitler obtained this characteristic altitude
On
partially
a point of
because of his
order, the chair, on a point of, on a point of order, can we ask the member to the honorable member to please get to the point
Sure, no problem.
because the member does not have a lot of time left.
Okay, that's no problem, Mr. Speaker. So to conclude, as I'm running out of time at the moment, most of the leadership traits that Mr. Adolf Hitler would have contained for himself would have been determination, integrity, confidence, sociability, intelligence. And these are some of the characteristic traits that one must develop in order to become a leader. These traits are traits that are not for a person to be born with, right? So I conclude my rebuttal from there. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Mr. Speaker.
At this stage, I'd like to announce a brief intermission, and we will return to the house thereafter.
The intermission is now over. The second rebuttal for and conclusion can begin. You have an extra 34 seconds.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members of Toy Story. Okay, so we all know of Gandhi, Martin Luther King. Like every invention, there's always been that one name attached to it. Why is this? Well, these people were exposed to the same environment, same background as their peers, their family, their friends. Why did they not rise to the opportunity? Why was it the person with the name that rose to the opportunity? Well, we can say that it was inside them all along. Yes, you can teach leadership, but leaders aren't born from the teaching of leadership. When you teach leadership, you are teaching people to follow guidelines. Leaders don't follow guidelines. It's like the proverb says. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. So you can teach and teach, but will it's whoever grasps the idea, the concept. That will be a very few people. And that's the point I'd like to make, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker?
Are there any other statements?
No, Mr. Speaker. We are fine.
I'd like to thank the member for Mulan
Yes.
for her contribution. And we would like to pass it on to the other team if there is a rebuttal. After a brief intermission,
The intermission is now over. We welcome the second rebuttal and conclusion against Leaders Are Born Not Made.
Ready? Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessie, and I am from the team Toy Story.
okay, the chair speaker recognizes Jesse from the team Toy Story.
Okay, may I proceed? So
You may
when you
proceed.
hear, pardon, sorry,
You may proceed.
thank you. So when you hear the phrase born leader, do you feel good about yourself? Or do you feel that you'll never be in a position to lead others? Because 70% of great leaders are a result of life lessons and experience. To expect that a person would be born with all of the tools needed to learn just doesn't make sense based on what we know about the complexity of social groups and processes. Of course, everyone you meet has different values, opinions, attitudes, beliefs, cultural values, work habits, goals, ambitions, and dreams. Because of this incredible diversity of human resources, it has never been more difficult and yet more necessary for our leaders to be made and not born. The fact that leadership is mostly made is good news for those of us who are involved in leadership development. Leaders can indeed be developed. Yet, there is some raw material, some inborn characteristics that predispose people to be and become leaders. Great leaders come from all walks of life. Seldom do we follow some predetermined path to leadership. While a few of them may have been born leaders, in many cases, great leaders weren't even picked to be mostly likely to succeed in their high school yearbooks. Almost all successful leaders overcome obstacles and failures along the way. For many, that's what defines their leadership style and drives them. Leaders are products of their environments, of the people surrounding them and nurturing them. While some may be born with an innate knack for great leadership skills like confidence, communication, and creativity, I'd like to argue that great leaders are made and not born. Even if you are born with certain traits and talents, only through carefully developing those skills and talents can you learn to master the art of leadership. Being a great leader takes practice. This is my closing statement, and I'll thank you for listening.
Okay, the House recognizes the contribution from Jesse. House the House would like to announce an interruption for 1 minute, and then the House will make another statement. I also would like to announce that we're taking brief interruption, in which time we would like everyone to do their assessments and the House will return in 8 minutes. 8 minutes.